Hey guys, thank you for joining me on my notary journey. You guys already know I be driving, I be hustling, just trying to get this money, trying to get my reputation up, trying to get signings, trying to learn and grow as well. Today someone told me, they said you're either gonna, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna be either, you're gonna be either or. You're gonna be happy that one, you're making such X amount of money and that you're blossoming, or two, that you have the freedom of time, right? And I feel like that is, I'm not making the amount of money I wish or I should be making, but the fact that I do have that freedom, like I'm gonna go back home, check over these documents one more time, get my stuff together, go out to the shipping company. Normally I would just go ahead and do this like at, you know, at the FedEx or at the UPS, but because of COVID, you cannot, like, you know, use one of their computer stations, one of their workstations. So I'm just gonna go home and do this quickly, go feed my dog, show him some love, answer some quick emails, and then go about my business. And I love the fact that I'm able to do that. But your girl's in debt, and she's trying to pay off debt. She's trying to learn more or new ways of handling her money. And I'm being honest with you guys, I've made tons of mistakes, you know, growing up with credit, with money. Habits are hard to break. No, I don't go out and splurge on myself and buy designers and stuff like that. No, I do not. But, you know, I heard if you did, you can rent your handbags and your shoes. So maybe I should have. But anyways, I'm just trying to learn, because growing up, I did not have that role model. I didn't have that. I didn't have a role model. I didn't have the mentor, you know. So again, I'm just learning as I go. But anyways, getting off track, getting back on track, I just finished my refinance. It was a refinance from a particular signing company. It was my first time ever doing a signing from them, and they're so hard to get onboarded with. So I'm really excited at the fact that I was able to accomplish this and able to make this happen. One thing is for sure, there was a good amount of paperwork, and a lot of the paperwork were like, I don't know, they were like renamed. It was just different. I was like, okay, this is not a title that I normally recognize. So the fact that it took me a little bit last night to get everything together, because I wasn't familiar with the name on the document itself. But then once I read like the first couple of lines, I'm like, oh, this is such and such. So, but I did have to stop and read the documents. Anyway, so this particular signing was super unique because I'm in Florida. In Florida, you do not need a lawyer, you do not need an attorney. It's not an attorney state at all. But what I'm talking about for signings, excuse my fast pace. I'm like a maniac. So it's my Dominican, Puerto Rican in me. I'm like, da, 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 da. So anyways, so this couple was on vacation, and they were gonna be an hour away from my house on this particular day, and I got the gig. I, you know, clicked okay first. I got assigned. Mind you, this is my first signing from this company, so I just truly want to do my best. But I learned something. So because it's an attorney state, I was required to have a lawyer on the phone. And there was a lawyer that was, well, an attorney that was appointed to this whole transaction. And I never communicated with her prior to this. I should have verified with her the time and date. I should have let her know what was going on. It was still going on. Because when I got there, I thought the signers were going to call her. they were like, I don't know who she is. I don't know her. So apparently the title company appointed her. So with that being said, I had to basically call her and kind of almost surprise her, because I already did like my grand introduction. So I was in the room. It was at a hotel. So I was in the room for about 10 minutes. So when I called her, she didn't answer. So then I texted her, because obviously this day and age, people answer text messages faster than voice messages. And then I was getting ready to contact the signing company when she called me back. And I was so happy that she did. She went over the note and she went over the mortgage documents, verbally telling them the numbers and what it is. And she had to stay on the line while I was on the phone. Sorry, while I was there. She was on the phone while I was there. So the whole interaction was unique. It was different. It was really nerve-wracking too, because I'm stumbling over my words. I feel like a hot mess. I think it was more pressure knowing that she was there. But she did like jump in and help me with certain questions, or jump in and help me with certain, certain situations, certain things. Like there was an affidavit of occupancy, basically, that states that the owner will have to reside in this residence for 60 days, within 60 days, and would have to stay there for a year. So the signer actually read the fine print, because when he was like, oh, do I have to stay there? Is there like a certain amount of time I have to stay there? I was like, whatever is stated on this first line will be, you will find your answer in this first line. So you never want to tell them why. You want to tell them the what or where to find it. So then I was reading over it too, and I read 60 days, and she was like, yeah, you don't need to stay there more than 60 days. And then he read it again, and it did say a year, like at the last sentence. So I learned something new. Take your time. Even the lawyer was like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad we found the answer. Never like play it off. Like, never just look like dumbfounded. Play it off and just be like, oh, well, you could just easily just try to be like, oh, well, I'm glad we found the answer, or, oh, well, my periods, whatever, refinance was different. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Whatever you have to say, just never be like, oh, just stand there looking clueless. Help them find the answer. I thought I found the answer, but when she said 60 days, I just said, yep, I just reassured her that she was correct, but she wasn't. But it's fine. And there was a couple instances that I did have a question, and she was there to answer it, so that was amazing. So yeah, it was my first experience of just doing a refinance or a loan signing that the property is in another state. The reason why it's important to know where the property is located is because you have to follow their rules. So if they need a lawyer present, you need to be alert, you need to be aware. If certain colored ink needs to be used for this signing, you need to be aware. So that's why it's so important to know what you're signing. Also, I like to I don't pre-sign. I like to just pre-mark my loan documents, as in if I get an order and I have time to look over it and fill in certain dates or fill in, just certain things, then I can do that. Just don't sign and stamp, because legally you have to sign and stamp in front of them. But yeah, so that was my experience. I want to just share this with you guys, because if I'm learning something new, I want you guys to learn something new with me. And you never know. You just never know if you're going to run into the same scenario. So again, I was really happy at the fact that I learned something new, how to notarize a document from another state, what to look for, having the attorney present, going to their hotel, checking their IDs. It was all new to me, and I was just really happy with the situation. I have 2 more signings today. They're later on. They're after 5, and they're hybrid signings. So I'll take my tablet. It should be, 30 minutes each one. One of them is in a nursing home. So you need to make sure when you go into these signings that the person is aware of what they're signing and that they're aware of the situation. Okay? So that's key. Anyways, again, thank you for, look at me clapping my hands while I drive. Thank you for just joining me on my journey. I'm truly grateful for everyone who has witnessed my journey, for people who have followed me on Instagram at SheBossMobile and has been cheering me on. Your family won't cheer you on, but strangers will. I'll leave you on that note. Thank you, guys.